Hello, I'm Mario Dion. You know who you are. This right here is North Nashville, 37208, home of the Firebird family. If we let society tell it, they'll say we're up to no good. I'm here to share a different narrative though. All the beautiful and incredible things our community is doing is all for the whole world to see. It's one thing that you're gonna know when you're done watching this, and that's we're not who you think we are. So remember, when you hear about Pearl-Cohn, North Nashville, 37208,
we had a committee to choose the colors and our mascot, and they chose the Firebirds. And that was because they said they didn't want any of the other previous schools' names. And since both schools were being dissolved and ended, they said, okay, well, we're going to bury those. We're going to burn them and bring up the ashes, and we're going to call it Firebirds.
It is a startling statistic. A North Nashville neighborhood is said to have the highest incarceration rate in the entire country. News Channel 5's Sina Saleem explains how some hope to address the issue and bring positive change to the community.
I believe that, first of all, Pearl-Cohn sits in the heart of North Nashville. And North Nashville at one time had the highest incarceration rate per capita for the area. But I believe that North Nashville is a mega spot for greatness, a mega spot for the talent that comes out of Pearl-Cohn to become successful and famous.
This is a startling statistic. A North Nashville neighborhood is said to have the highest incarceration rate in the entire country. So what can be done about it? That is a question Metro leaders are set to tackle. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb is with us tonight. And Jason, I know you spoke with a prominent voice in the North Nashville area about this.
Yeah, so the outside perception of our students at Pearl-Cohn really comes from this idea of what's going on around the school. So the statistics that surround 37208 with having a high crime rate or poverty level, and that kind of flows over into what people think about the students that attend Pearl-Cohn.
I think through our pathways, health sciences, audio production, television production, and cosmetology, where we're moving students from the classroom into communities, into positions where professionals can see them doing the kinds of things that they're doing, lets folks know that our students are ready to assume jobs, ready to assume professions, are trained well, have been exposed to the kinds of classwork that they need to really be successful. That changes the narrative in terms of what people believe about Pearl-Cohn. I think single-handedly all the work that's being done through the pathways has allowed our students to feel good about themselves, which in turn then makes them feel more confident in what they do in the classroom. It makes them feel more confident as they move out into the community and assume positions in the community. All of that working together, our teachers, our students, the professionals in the community, all of that makes for a change, sometimes even a surprise to people who really have never interacted with Pearl-Cohn students. So I believe that we are doing the work in the building. We can always be better. I'm not going to sit here and say that there are not areas that we need to improve on, but I believe that the work that we're doing really sets the stage for our students to assume positions and be professionals in our community. I know very well from the years that I've been here that many of our students are doing wonderful things in the community in all kinds of professions. So we're doing the work here. We're providing opportunities for our students, and they are taking the handle of these opportunities and moving in the community and becoming successful.
Yeah, so I have a unique position to really get to touch every student in Pearl-Cohn. As the Academy coach, it is my job to know the desires of our students, to think about and listen to what their ideas are when it comes to career, the questions they may have around college, the questions they may have just around who they are and who they're becoming. And that starts in their freshman year, and I get to continue to see them grow and see them in different different areas, right? So it might be putting them in front of partners or seeing them work within the classroom, you know, in their cosmetology class, and see how they grow in that area, or seeing them behind a camera. So it really gives me a chance to get feedback, to get to know them, to think about goal setting, and also just to build relationships and then partner them with people maybe that they've never had the opportunity to meet or network. So I really think that's a unique opportunity.
My name is Tyler Welch. I'm the academy coach here at Pearl-Cohn High School. This is my 6th year. I came in as a biology teacher and a basketball coach. And just speaking on like the perception of the school from my experience, when I was in high school, we played Pearl-Cohn and football, and you know, we'd come down here and my parents would be like, be safe, you know, it's a dangerous place, make sure you're aware of your surroundings and things like that. And then even when I got this job, I had some friends and family who was like, oh, are you gonna be safe down there? You know, it's a dangerous neighborhood. Those kids, they grow up in dangerous neighborhoods and dangerous situations. And to be honest, whenever I got here, it wasn't like that at all.
Maybe because it sits in a community that is impoverished, maybe because of the Brookings Institute, all these other factors does not have anything to do with what's happening at Pearl-Cohn day to day. I feel like Pearl gets a bad name and has for years. I worked here from 1997 to 2003 or 4. And it was the same image. We were fighting the image, you know. And I think if people come in this building and they spend time, they often change their minds about what they see in the building, because there's all kinds of great things happening, and we have really, really brilliant students.
Some of these students do get a perception or biases put on them just from the neighborhood that they grow up in or the neighborhood that they live in, but most of these students actually are very good students. This year we actually increased our dual enrollment from 3 students to 57 students who now have college credit. If you take a look at our sports teams, they've all been successful. Many students have gone to college and been successful in college. We even have players in the NFL. But we also have other students who are now professionals, who are nurses, who really give back to the community.
So again, it's just unfortunate that we sit in a community where there is negativity. However, you know, we have to think about it this way too, that there's negativity and things happening all over the city. It's not isolated to the 37208 area. And again, it's not isolated and the cause of being because it sits in the Pearl-Cohn district.
So even in my time here, I've seen the school grow, the community grow. I've seen students go from what you would call a troublesome situation to a successful situation. And if you just came and researched a little bit and dove into these students, you would see that many of them have exponential growth. They learn skills, they learn academics, and they become very successful members of this community. And then they even come back and give back to the community. And
these kids aren't who you think they are. I say that because I passionately have seen promise in them. I've seen passion about different studies, areas of life that they're concerned about. I've seen young men who I believe may be our future senators, maybe even be our future governors, may even be some of our future homeowners, but not just homeowners, but mainly business owners that are going to be progressive, that are going to be promising, and that they're going to promote great things in life. The young men and the young women out of Pearl-Cohn are successful. I see it, I feel it in my heart, and I just know it's going to happen. Why? Because I'm seeing it every day. I'm seeing it in what they say, I'm seeing it in what they do, how they react, how they respond to the ideas of life. Give you an example. One young man I had, he had a speech impediment. But this young man became one of the greatest speakers within Pearl-Cohn from his sophomore year to his senior year. And he went from not having self-esteem to having a bunch of self-esteem, and he felt great about himself, and he was able to succeed and be successful. So what he did was he became in the top 10. He graduated in the top 10. He earned a scholarship to two of our major college institutions within this city, Belmont, Tennessee State. Ironically, he chose Belmont. And now he's there matriculating and he's becoming everything he wants to become. Why? Because he believed. He believed he could. He believed he could make something happen right here at Pearl-Cohn.